So how do we save our kids and our schools from this woke triangle of indoctrination, dumbing down, and discrimination?
I think the answer is very obvious, and I think a lot of it is just having the courage to do the right thing by your kid and understand the issues that are facing them. You know, we have become a society that seems to emphasize diversity as the most important thing. You know, in our culture, and the emphasis on diversity it can be at the expense of everything. And that's the argument that we have to just make over and over. It's not about being anti-diverse. It's just why is diversity so important? When Diana sent me the latest strategic planning for the Sequoia School District, number one on every page was diversity, then education. Education literally had number two on it. The diversity is number one. And so I think that's what we have to do as parents is just say, you know what? If you really want diversity, if you want lasting diversity, actually, I could quote Rich Standard, who's supposed to be here. He wrote something somewhere, I cannot remember where he is, but he said that true diversity is through merit. And he proved that by showing that minority students who went to university and had gotten in there on their own merit and were high achievers tended to have more diverse friends. Why? Excellence wants to hang out with excellence. And so that it was the people that were sort of lower achieving that would hang out in more tribal groups. And so that's why, pushing merit first before anything is the most important thing, and that's what parents need to be advocating.
So merit is the greatest equalizer.
Yeah, no doubt.
We need merit, we need excellence. So let's go back to race. What does race have to do with any of this? What do we do with it?
It's just power. That's my father's one line. I think he said this one line for 40 years, which is race is nothing but a means to power, and always the corruption. It will corrupt the exploiter. It will corrupt society. And I think that's something that we have to understand today. Is just really like think about that. You know, race is about power, and I think a lot of people don't understand that. And so I get the argument a lot is that, well, okay, you know what? We've got ethnic studies here, and let's do ethnic studies light. Let's do DEI light. Well, if race is a poison, if it's a power, I mean, it's a poison because it reduces people's skin color. Can you survive a little bit of poison? Not really. I mean, that poison, once you take that poison, it will just grow. If you take a little bit of poison, it will always grow. So I don't believe in anything, less than really going after, eliminating ethnic study, eliminating DEI, because if you want to talk about history, then let's talk about history. Ethnic study is nothing but grievance study. It's all about grievance. It's all about, who did what to what in the past. And that will only lead to tribalism. So we really have to understand that ethnic studies is really grievance study, and that's really about using race as a means to power. And do our kids benefit from that? No.
I agree, and I think you and I have had multiple conversations on this issue. We really don't think that our kids need a lesson to learn how to treat their neighbors, because in a nation that's so naturally diverse, like our nation. So with that being said, I take a couple of questions.
Real quick, can you tell us a little bit about the censorship, that the problems you've been having getting the film out?
Great question. The reason why I made the film was to give parents like Diana a voice, because I just watched her be silenced by the board time after time. You know, it's almost like this is mocking her. And I think that the board, the principal, the school newspaper, the student, and the journalism teacher all allegedly, sort of work together to try to stop this film from coming out. And I think the primary reason is because they want to control the narrative. They want to control the information. And so I think what we did here was a very pro-American thing. We attended this. We had no idea where we were jumping into when we made it. This is supposed to be a 10-minute film. I was already working on another film with my father, and so this wound up taking 5 months of my time, 6 months. So it really grew into something that was bigger than it was. And I think that kind of gives it its own power because we were responding to the culture, to the shift in the culture from October 7th. And I think that like COVID and October 7th has similar impact where what was happening in the school became personal. It really became personal to Diana. I mean, I saw her face. I think we talked this Tuesday after October 7th, and I was like, okay, she's not looking good. This has really impacted her. She started talking about her own 2 girls and how this was having a negative impact. And so I think that's all of that power. I think that's sort of why the district wanted to censor the film, which is sort of try to bury the. I mean, a lot of even my own kids' school in LA on Pico, which LA Pico is basically where there's youth, a lot of Jewish people live. They refuse to acknowledge October 7th because they're on that DEI path. And so that's why I think making this film, speaking out, is the best form against censorship. And I would say that even with Diana's standing up, it hasn't been not too many parents still remain cowardly. They still do, even with the truth is right there in front of the faces, and they are, affected by this. They still don't have that courage, and so we're still behind in the game. And I struggle with this a lot in my life because I do a lot of work in race, and it should be demoralizing at times. But you always have to have that optimism that you're doing the right thing, that you're standing on principle, and expose you the truth in a way, because in the end, just like the civil rights movement is this year, truth has a way of coming forth. I never say one thing about the civil rights movement. My grandparents started in 1942. They were founding members of CORE. So that's 1942 to 1964. My grandfather was born in 1900. The last civil rights bills were passed in 1967, so he was 67 years old. After 1942, 43, they had no idea that 1964 would be the year. All they had was the faith and the hope that they were doing the right thing, that they were being better Americans than the people that were oppressing them.
One more question?
The role of Stanford professors, faculty, wives, people afraid to speak out whose children are in Woodside, all of throughout the peninsula. And to me, it seems to coincide with when Yale, the person who was in charge of admissions at Yale, went to Stanford, and Stanford stopped interviewing incoming students, was strictly from paper. It seems to coincide with the downfall of the school system. Could you just comment on the extreme effect of Stanford faculty, spouses, etc.?
Okay, I didn't quite. Maybe you repeat that question. No, it's hard for me to read that far. No, you have to come up.
Read your lips.
I'm sorry?
He's trying to read your lips.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you come up. Yeah.
Go up.
Yeah, I'm not Superman. I can't read that far. I got a lot of it, but
My parents were hearing impaired.
yeah, better.
Oh, can you see my lips now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. So coinciding with the downfall of the school system, the admissions person at Stanford came from Yale, and Stanford no longer interviewed incoming students. It was strictly paper. It seems the two came together, and that was the beginning and the end. And I'm curious about the faculty, various departments, whether wives, the privileged people who are living in dreamland, really affected what happened to all these schools. These were the best in class schools. I know them personally from years ago. I'm just shocked.
So you're asking me about the
timing.
the timing.
From
I
when
actually
admissions
don't.
at Stanford went downhill because of who came from Yale.
Yeah.
Yale, the admissions person at Yale.
Actually, I don't know why.
I remember I read it in all the Palo Alto papers. I was around campus at that time.
I have not heard that, so that's why I'm having a hard time commenting on that. Like, in terms of because she's saying basically that the Yale admissions officer came over, they refused to interview students in person.
Yeah, they stopped interviewing in person, and that's when they went, DEI-ish and went to the left.
Can I just say, as a 38-year resident of Palo Alto and Stanford, I don't think there was any connection between those two things.
No, I'm just talking about timing. I just think of timing.
Yeah, I can't really comment on that. And if I haven't heard about that, yeah, it's sorry about that.
Thank you, Eli.
Yeah, thank you.
Hope you will continue the conversations
Of
with
course.
your fans off stage.
Thank you so much for having me.